Yes, I have a new haircut. No, we're not going to talk about it. But instead, we're going to talk about Crier's War from Nina Varela. So, first off, what the book is about in general, a spoiler-free plot summary. The setting is in a world where automatae are the ruling kind, and they rule above the humans, who are being treated kind of like slaves, and there's a separation going on between those two. And we have our first main character, her name is Ayla. Her entire family was killed by automatae, and the order was given by the king, so she's out for revenge, and she thinks, he killed my family, so I'm gonna go and kill his automatae daughter, who is Crier, the second main character. And the plot kind of starts when Ayla is working under Crier, and Crier notices her, and Ayla still wants to kill Crier, but Crier has a really fat crush on her, and that kind of dynamic. So I gave the book 3.5 out of 5 stars. I couldn't quite give it only 3 because there were certain aspects I really enjoyed, but I also really couldn't give it 4 stars. It just didn't feel that right to me, so I decided to stick in the middle. So what I did really like about this book, probably my favorite thing about it, was Crier's infatuation with Ayla. The way that that was portrayed was very sweet. Her affection was very kind of childlike and innocent in a way, and it just felt really sweet to read. It reminded me of like having a first crush and just wanting to please them and trying to get their attention and trying to help them feel nice. And that behavior is what Crier exhibits because she's kind of very pure in a way. And I thought that was very cute. And it felt really, it was really sweet. I really liked that. I also liked the alternating chapters, that you always had one chapter of Crier's perspective and then another chapter of Ayla's perspective, and it kept going like that. I liked having both perspectives alternating. It was pretty cool. I can't really say too much without spoiling throughout the book, so if you think that the summary sounds nice and you like kind of enemies to lovers, forbidden romance, and cute crushes, then you might like this and you might want to buy this before you keep watching. If you've already read it, or you don't think you want to read it, or you don't care about spoilers that much, then please do keep watching. So something that confused me right at the start of the book was the scene where Ayla and Crier meet actually face to face for the first time, was when they both were eavesdropping on the same people. And it was kind of confusing because Crier made a noise, like she rustled some leaves or something while she was trying to sneak up on them. And that just didn't make sense to me, because like 2 chapters before that you have a hunting scene where it's like portrayed how quiet she and automatae in general are, and how they don't make a noise at all. Like even on crispy leaves they don't make any noise, they're completely silent. So it doesn't make sense to me that Ayla would hear her, because Crier is like trying to be quiet and creeping up on them, and it doesn't make sense to me that she would be completely quiet while hunting in the forest, and she wouldn't be completely quiet while like eavesdropping on an important conversation. It just doesn't really add up to me why she was able to hear her. So that kind of seemed inconsistent a bit, to me at least. Another thing that I actually liked though was that it never really felt like there was a big power imbalance between Crier and Ayla, despite Ayla being her servant, her handmaiden. Because Ayla never really used that power over her that she technically had. Like, she never really ordered her to do anything against her will, or she never punished her. Like, for example, one time when Ayla showed up, actually, Ayla didn't show up to work, instead of punishing her for it, Crier sent out like a lot of food for her, and she was like, you know what, take the next few days off, no biggie. I love you. I don't know. I felt like that was a very cute thing, and it showed that she was like a good person and didn't punish her for what could technically be punished, I guess. So I thought that was really nice, and it because I don't really like a lot of things where one of them is like serving the other, like boss and secretary or that kind of stuff, where there would be a power imbalance. But this one actually, I didn't notice it at all, so that was really, really nice. So the only thing that I want to talk about from now on is the ending. So if you haven't finished the book, don't listen to me. But I personally didn't like the ending. And that being said, there is a second book. I haven't read that yet, but I will read it as soon as I find the charger for my Kindle. But so it's only like a partial ending because there will be like a full ending at the next book. But even with books that are part of a series, I am missing a certain sense of closure or like satisfaction. It doesn't feel right for me to end the book where it ended. Something about it just didn't give me that satisfaction of, okay, this was book one. It just kind of felt a bit abrupt to me, and I also didn't really like that they separated in the ending. I don't know. I mean, I get why they're gonna like do their separate stuff, but it kind of came out of left field for me. And you know, I get like, wow, plot twist. I just would have preferred if they would have talked it out. It felt it, you know, because Crier wanted to talk about everything and tell Isla that she loved her and everything pretty much, and to be robbed of that, just it was kind of frustrating, really. I don't know. I didn't like it, but maybe they're gonna like be happily ever after in the final book ending, but like this, it didn't feel right. Like in comparison to The Midnight Lie, spoiler alert, where they end up separated too, it felt right then and there because they both felt emotionally mature and they both knew this was a temporary thing. While this kind of felt like they should have gotten together in the end. It felt like a lot of build up for nothing, pretty much, which personally very much frustrated me. But I'm hoping that book two maybe is gonna be better then, because quite a bit of the rating got lowered because I really wasn't a fan of the last third-ish of the book. Just wasn't where I wanted it to go, I guess. A final thing that kind of confused me about the ending part was when it was revealed that the queen, Jun, that she had killed the Red Hand Reika, who was, you know, like pro humans and automata work together and they're like happily ever after. So I didn't understand why Jun would kill someone who has her supposed ideals. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like a hint that it's actually not what she wants and she's like evil or whatever, but if she's evil, then like why is she fucking a human? What? I don't know. I am pretty confused. I know it's most likely gonna get resolved in the next book, but I don't know. I feel like the book left me with more questions than answers. So it just doesn't really satisfy me. And not in the way that I'm like, oh, I want more, but in the way that I'm like, you can't just. What? I don't know. But that's why I ended up giving it 3.5 stars instead of like 4, which I originally thought I would do because I was really a fan of Crier's perspective and her like little crush and her like her innocent acts of wanting to help but not understanding the consequences. I just really liked Crier's character. So yeah, those are my thoughts about the book, and maybe I will read the second book of it next. I'm not quite sure because I have yet to find the charger for my ebook Kindle thing, so if I find that at some point, I might then look into what I'll read next. But if you've watched all of this, then thank you very much. If you have any recommendations for other queer fantasy books, please let me know. I'm always on the lookout for more. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this was watchable. And my hair is stuck to my lashes.